Jeff Stoutland Speaks, and it's got everyone in a frenzy. So we're going to listen to this. He went on the Kelce's podcast. Jason and Travis talked a little bit about last season, and Jeff did not show discretion, okay, which makes you wonder about his relationship last season with both Kevin Patullo and Nick Sirianni. Obviously, the question was going to come as to, hey, what happened last season, right? Defending Super Bowl chance, it all seemed to fall apart. What do you think was the ultimate problem that caused 2025 to go off the rails?
What happened last year, just in general? Like, what was the reason for the struggles in your mind? I don't know. What went wrong last season with the Birds?
Well, I think anytime things don't go well, and I don't want to sound like I'm on like in an interview but it's the truth. It's execution, and it's calling the right play at the right time and not running bad plays into bad defenses.
Yeah.
I mean,
now look, we'll get to the execution in a second, but calling the right plays at the right times and not calling bad plays into bad defenses. Do y'all think maybe that affected Jalen Hurts' production a little bit?
it ain't that hard. I'm not going to sit here and make up all these. That's pretty much it.
What
I think he was going for there at the end, he's basically saying, I'm not going to sit here and make up all these excuses and all these reasons as to why things went bad. They went bad. Yes, execution, 100%. I think a lot of that is, and I don't want to say on Jeff, because there were also a lot of injuries on the offensive line. But Mailata was not Mailata, that's for sure. But was he maybe the only guy that was healthy all season? Right? So that's a struggle for sure. So I think a lot of people who are anti-Jalen Hurts on everything went to execution, and they're like, oh, it's the quarterback, 100%. That's all he's talking about. There are a lot of execution problems. Calcaterra was an absolutely terrible blocker, but we constantly, going back to the bad plays and bad defensive stuff, constantly ran running plays that involved Calcaterra as a blocker, and those plays got blown up, right? So it all goes together. When you're calling the wrong play with the wrong personnel, and it's against the wrong defense, guess what? Execution is going to be a problem. And the offensive line was not good. A.J. Brown, when we get to execution, A.J. Brown was not A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown got all up in his feels, and he quit. He quit on a lot of routes. And I know people are like, oh, you're hammering A.J. And look, I get it. I did my best to defend AJ for a long time. He was obviously hugely productive in his time in Philadelphia, help us get to a couple of Super Bowls and win one. But 2025, I can't defend it. I can't defend. I've gone and looked at the film a lot. I can't defend all the lackadaisical routes that he ran and he quit on. I can't defend all the drop passes. I can't defend him yelling at Jalen Hurts on the sideline, and then the very next play, Jalen throws a bomb, that perfect bomb, right into the breadbasket in A.J. Brown's hands in the end zone, and it goes right through him, and he drops it. I mean, we can't, I can't defend that crap. There's no possible way. So here's the thing. If Jeff Stoutland rode with Kevin Patullo and Nick Sirianni, right, if he's on board with Kevin and Nick, even if he thinks everything he just said, he doesn't say it publicly, right? There are some issues there, I think, personally as well. So, some people would say, well, I take it with a grain of salt, because obviously if he's saying that, there are some issues. But from everything I've seen, Jeff Stoutland's been in Philly a long time. And from everything I've seen, the guy is a straight shooter. I don't think that he's coming out and telling us, hey, man, the play calling, the bad plays and the bad defense and all of that, I don't think he's saying that if he doesn't believe that's 100% true.
I don't want to sound like I'm on like in an interview but it's the truth. It's execution, and it's calling the right play at the right time and not running bad plays into bad defenses.
Right play at the right time, not running bad plays into bad defenses. And I think all true Philly Eagles fans who have really sunk into this season and watched because of all the drama that's going on, trying to figure everything out, we can all agree Kevin Patullo was a problem. This offensive scheme, the system, the play calling was a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, it ain't that hard. I'm not going to sit here and make up all these. That's pretty much it.
There you go. That is pretty much it. And oddly enough, I'm going to be fair by letting this man speak, because y'all know, if you've been into this channel for a while, I have been hard on Acho because he comes up with some terrible, terrible takes. But hey, man, I don't think he missed here. Let me know what you think.
Stoutland told the world what we already knew. It was a Kevin Patullo issue. There's so many reasons why there were fire Kevin Patullo chants. There's so many reasons why Philadelphia Eagles fans were egging Kevin Patullo's house. What I love about Stoutland, he is a truth teller. He has always kept it real. He's an incredible vulnerable man, an incredible authentic man, an incredible leader of man. Like, Stoutland was one of my favorite coaches when I was in Philadelphia. So Jeff Stoutland's going to keep it a buck. But I'm surprised that he didn't protect the guilty. And that also tells me why Jeff Stoutland is no longer in Philadelphia. Because if Jeff Stoutland and Kevin Patullo were cool, if Jeff Stoutland and Nick Sirianni were probably cool, you protect the guilty. You know that it was a Kevin Patullo issue. We assume that. But Jeff Stoutland, you didn't need to necessarily confirm it for us. You didn't need to necessarily tell us. So why are you telling us? Because you want to let the world know, hey, subliminally or subconsciously, you don't really rock with Patullo like that. And why would Jeff Stoutland, who is still coaching Lane Johnson and still coaching Jordan Mailata and still has Cam Jurgens there and still has Landon Dickerson there, why would he retire right now? He's young. He's vibrant. You talking to players, you could be talking to players on the Philadelphia Eagles staff, because probably and more than likely he was not given the authority to continue to insert his opinions on the offense. He's watching Sirianni and Kevin Patullo, at least Kevin Patullo, ruin the offense, and Stoutland's letting the whole world know it's not that hard. You're calling plays into bad looks. I love Jeff Stoutland keeping it a buck. I love him keeping it a beam right there. Not surprised at all. Stoutland told the world.
Well, there you go. That's kind of interesting. Now, that's where we could get at the end point there. Is like, should he really be doing this? How much of this is kind of personal because of issues with maybe where he was iced out or frozen out into his input with the Philadelphia Eagles offense that he had in the past? And again, there were a lot of offensive line issues. I don't think you go to where a coach like Jeff Stoutland is all of a sudden a bad coach. With bringing in Saquon Barkley and the great offensive linemen that we had, are there times where people maybe, I don't know, deify Jeff Stoutland a little too much, as we all do with coaches and athletes when they're at the peak? Yeah, maybe, but he's not all of a sudden a bad coach where last year you can say, oh man, all of that, the terrible blocking, the bad running game, the bad pass, that's all on Jeff Stoutland all of a sudden. I think a lot of it was on play calling, but again, a lot of it also offensive line, both declines in play like Mailata and injuries. And we hopefully that is something that will change this year. So get that fixed. I mean, we all know, because it's the formula in Philly, everything starts in the trenches, offensive line, defensive line, everything else stems from that. You get those two things set, and it makes everything else about the game easier. But yeah, man, I'm with Jeff. I think Acho kind of nailed it there. I think we had a lot of problems with Patullo and Sirianni, and we decided that the blame was going to fall on Jalen Hurts. My big question, and I'm curious what y'all think, is how much influence is Nick Sirianni going to have on the play calling this year? I think it should be zero. I think we need to have a season where our offensive coordinator is our offensive coordinator and our play caller, with no interference from Nick Sirianni, and let's see how it goes. We've got nothing to lose, right? We're bound to. People have already written the Eagles off for 2026. Okay, so now we're back to the dog mask, back to the German Shepherd mask. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for being here. Appreciate all of your support. I will talk to you later.